It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Izzo. Let's talk some sports.
Hey, let's go! Monday show, March 18, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards from the Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, Fox2Detroit.com, and the Fox local app. If you're watching live, we say hello to everybody watching on YouTube as well. Over there in YouTube land, Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, you, my friend. Also, I want to tell you, thank you again for your friend that hooked me up with this beautiful shirt.
How about that?
I put it on, man. You know what's funny is I was going to give it to my dad. I said, this looks like a dad quarter zip. Let me give it to Pops. Tried it on. Haven't taken it off.
My main man, Ted, over there,
this.
works at the University of Michigan with the
Michigan
integrative systems and design.
Appreciate that, T, man.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful quarter zip, man.
Wanted to make sure
that.
Braylon Edwards got that 2X.
Oh,
Did you get one as well?
I did get one.
That's what I'm talking about, man. 100%.
XL.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
What's up, big Tom Izzo?
Hey, Bray. Happy March Madness to you and Ryan. Welcome in, Pete and Mike. Let's have a good week.
I thought about you yesterday, Maz, because I was watching a college basketball game.
You?
I
College
was.
basketball?
I was.
No.
You see
I
my
was.
Peacocks make it?
I did see the Peacocks make it, but there was a three-pointer made and the foul, so 4-point play, and the announcer says, no, it was the Pistons game. It was the Pistons game.
See, it makes sense now. I knew you weren't watching March Madness.
And George Blaha says, he's got it was Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson has a chance for the 4-bagger now. And I thought, you.
Bam.
Total bowling reference.
Bam,
Look
from
at that.
Blaha.
4-bagger.
So you know George is throwing some strikes somewhere
I love
at
George,
some
man.
point in his
Love
life.
him.
Ryan, quick thought on yesterday. Yesterday was not only my girl's sister's birthday, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah. My dad's birthday yesterday.
My
Happy
sister's
belated.
birthday.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this on Friday. Happy belated to those guys. When I was young, is it just me? Like I'm officially getting old. Like in a cool sense. I'm 41, still look good. Work out and all, but everybody's going downtown. Saturday, I heard it was 25,000 people downtown getting ready for Sunday.
For St. Practice Day.
Same practice day. Then yesterday, another 20,000. Not my cup of tea. Like they were trying to hang out and do the St. Patrick's Day vibe. I took them right over to Dick O'Dowd's, and the pub in Birmingham. Nice. It was spacious. I was able to move around a little bit. We sat down, we chilled, had a green beer, had a Guinness, and then we went to the Maury, not this one, the one in Royal Oak. Same thing. They had a DJ. You can move. It was spacious. That's how I'm doing St. Patty's Day. If I'm ever doing it, it was very cool. So different than 10 years ago when I get downtown at 9 and I'm blacked out by by
Dude,
5.
there's no doubt
Joking.
about it. I mean, trust me, there was a time that I used to love St. Patrick's Day.
Ann Arbor's fun, St. Patrick's Day.
Basically, any excuse to go out and have a Monday,
Cinco de Mayo, St. Patty's Day.
You were gonna eat it up. No matter what the day was. Oh, there's a game on tonight. Monday night football, St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo, Sunday night football, Thursday night football.
Any excuse.
Any excuse to go out and have a couple of pops with your buddies.
Kick it with the
you do it. But man, I think the older I get, the harder it is to recover. So I try to partake less and less in that kind of thing. Now I know, Maz, that's not your thing at all.
It's not, but I always enjoyed a holiday anyway. And back in my bar days, when I was running bars, it was always a fun time. People, they just love it, man. Any excuse to make a fool of themselves, and it is what it is.
I
don't get it. I don't get how people just want to just black out. I'll never will get it. I don't know why you want to suffer the next day or two. Whatever, more power to you, I guess.
No doubt, man.
It's just fun. You hang out with the fellas. You're going around. I mean, you know what you're really doing at the end of the day, but it's a lot of fun, man. You hang out with the boys, man, and chase you know what. Now I'm like, hey, look, man, what time is it?
Put me in the bed.
What time is it?
Is it 7:30 yet?
What?
Is it 8
No.
o'clock yet?
We got downtown. I want to say we got here in Birmingham about 1. I was checking my watch, man, 2:45.
Was it packed?
I was good. It was a good look.
I felt it was a little bit just out and about.
It wasn't like it.
A little bit tame on a Sunday, maybe.
It's cold too.
Yeah.
Like the weather's been iffy. It's cold as heck right now. Yesterday it was kind of chilly as well. Yeah, it was. If you're looking for a chill vibe, it was Birmingham. But if you're looking for that craziness, Corktown and downtown, man. It's too much for me.
No doubt about it, guys. Hey, let's get into it.
Hey, guess what they did to me at St. Joan of Arc?
Oh, sorry.
My church.
Okay.
You know, back in my day, I used to coach.
You used to rule St. Joan of Arc.
I used to coach the girls all the time. The girls softball teams since they were little 5-year-old
Whatever
all the
happened to
way
the
up.
festival over there at St. Joan? They had a great fair.
They stopped it. They used COVID as an excuse to never bring it back again.
It's terrible.
It is what it is. You know, they say it's more trouble than it's worth, and that's the way it goes. But they brought me back. I'm going to be
shame.
I'm going to be coaching again.
What?
I'm going to coach the JV St. Joan girls.
Get out of here.
Yeah, the 5th and 6th grade girls that don't know what the hell they're doing. Bad News Bears. I'm going to be Buttermaker. I'm coaching again.
This is incredible news, man.
Yeah, I figured give me something fun to do.
I love
happy
that.
for you, man.
I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the time to coach the girls.
Now,
And my kids are done, but I'm going to have my kids help me too.
What time is your practice?
5:30 every day.
5:30 every day.
5:30.
5:30 to what?
Probably 7 o'clock, 7:30.
Now, what's your message to the girls? What's the first thing you say to the girls out there? You say,
Well, we're gonna have fun.
Right.
But they're gonna learn how to play the right way. They're gonna run through first base. They're not gonna dog it. I don't let anyone dog it. There's no dogging on my team. I'm gonna show them the right way.
Dingers.
I'm gonna show them the right way to play. That's it.
Now, do you got a plan, an agenda, or
I
schedule?
will. I haven't come up with it yet. I'll let you know. You want to help?
I'll come out. I'll
Bray,
come
you want to
out.
help?
Hey, you like that one? Then you
Yeah,
hitting
'cause I know
dingers.
what
You
you're
can walk
referring
all you
to.
want to.
I mean,
I
I'll
know what
come
you're
out.
referring to, Bray.
All right, brother.
I'll come from
Yeah.
time to time.
All right.
I'd love
Hype.
to check it out.
I hope the weather's good because usually the spring weather in Michigan is god awful for softball.
I know. Same thing. You know, my little guy is playing like little A ball this year. I got him on the team. You know, I just want him to have a good time.
course.
You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to be the best athlete in the world, but you never know. But just want him out there having a good time. And you look at the schedule; it's all these games in April and May, and you're like, dude, it's probably going to be like 42 degrees out there with flurries, you know?
No doubt. And mud. We're going to be in the mud. But that'll be great. Maybe Lydia will want to play.
Maybe. I'm trying to get her. She's into that figure skating and gymnastics.
That's good.
And
And
stuff
Taylor
like
Swift.
that. And Taylor Swift, man. We did that Taylor Swift concert on Disney Plus on Saturday.
Oh, that's great.
I seriously, she knew every word to every song. And I'm just like, as a parent, I'm like, when did this happen? How did this happen?
Yeah.
Because it's not like anything that I really see a lot.
Of course.
Right.
You know
That's
what
true.
I mean? It just kind of happens.
When she's in her room, man.
Oh, man,
she's
I'm
listening
telling you.
to it. Hey, the best thing about that concert, the Taylor Swift on Disney, is it didn't cost you $700.
It cost me $19.99 or whatever the app is.
Yeah, it's like
Amen.
$129 a year. They make you pay it all up front. It's worth it though. Disney has a lot to offer.
I'll tell you, just quickly going back to the coach thing, God bless you, Maz, because
Thanks,
we
man.
need more coaches out there coaching the
know.
right way.
I
That
gotta
care.
do it.
You know?
Coaches that actually care.
It was the best time of my life when I was coaching my girls.
Well,
the best.
It's the best thing about it that you're going back, and the worst thing about it, because that means that nobody else has stepped up.
Yeah.
You know, like of the current,
Correct.
my generation, my guys that have
No
stepped up.
parents wanted to do it.
No.
No parents.
Well, it's funny because I was in a similar situation. I've got no problem helping out. I'd love to help out. But one, my kid doesn't listen to me at all. Like, does way better with other people than he does with me. That's one. And two, it is unless you have that coaching knack, which I don't have.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell other people's kids what to do. Like for me. So
Kids can sniff that out. Like kids can sniff it
Yeah.
out. Like if you don't have it, like kids won't tune into you. Like Maz has it, so they easy gravitate towards
Right.
whatever he's saying, whatever he's teaching. But if you don't have that knack, kids are like, I don't know
like
about
I
this dude.
know I'm not a good teacher.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a good coach. Like like I know that.
On second thoughts, maybe you just could come and watch instead
Yeah,
of helping.
I'm not going to help you. Well, I mean,
I just talked yourself off the staff.
I could do something if you tell me what to do. You know what I mean? Hey, hit ground balls to the
you go.
girls or something like that. I
that.
could do that.
You can be there for like
you know?
support.
Yeah, support.
can be
I'm a good
support.
support guy, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to make no plan.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Instead of mascot.
I didn't mean to interrupt March Madness.
No, you're great.
Okay.
But yeah, March Madness was yesterday, and it was the first time I started paying attention to college basketball. And I think I'm not the only one. Most people probably just start paying attention to college basketball at this point. But Michigan State does get in. They're going to be the first game of the tournament, a 12-10 game on Thursday. Oakland University, who I think all of us are rooting for, they draw Kentucky. Now, some would say that's probably the worst draw that they could possibly have, but I think a lot of us were like, hey, 14 seed, you're going to get a 3 seed. Oakland University, I'm so intrigued by. But, we'll get to them in a second. But for Tom Izzo, to hear your name for the 26th consecutive year, whether you think they're going to do anything in the tournament or not, is pretty special. Here's what he had to say about that.
Like they would have it. We have to be in almost the last bracket at the West Coast, and made me sit and wait. And Alan was up there, President was there, and players. But I felt relieved once they called our name, and when I saw 9, I didn't care what we were. I really, really didn't. I didn't want to be in the play-in game if I didn't have to, just because of logistics of everything. But going to Charlotte, I'll go see Miles, and hopefully, and who knows? I'll know more about Mississippi State in the wee hours of the morning.
So 26 consecutive appearances in the NCAA tournament. Again, they draw a 9 seed. They'll play Mississippi State. So MSU versus MSU in the first round. The winner most likely gets North Carolina. And I say most likely gets North Carolina because you never know anymore in this crazy, crazy tournament, because it is crazy, crazy, Braylon.
That's one thing we talked about on Friday. If they were 8 or 9, they were going to have to play a number 1 seed if they did advance. So you look at who they're playing. Mississippi State, good basketball program out of SEC. SEC probably best division in basketball right now. We'll see what they do. I think they get the win. I think he gets one.
Yeah,
we'll
it's
see
like
what
a
goes
1.5 point. Michigan State's a 1.5 point favorite, so it really does feel like a pick'em game. And there's nobody that really scares you anymore, right?
Nah,
I mean,
those days are gone. I think the last team that scares you was Villanova. When Jay Wright had his run, maybe North Carolina too, when Hubert Davis first started, and then maybe at the end Duke, obviously Mike Krzyzewski. But now no team scary. You can beat any team. Like I look at that Kentucky and Oakland matchup. If I'm Kentucky, I'm nervous. John Calipari does not typically do well in the tournament. You look at his guys; they're
friends too, by the way.
100%. They're 1 year in. They're one and done. They get out of here. So there's no cohesiveness with Kentucky. You look at a team like Oakland. This guy's been together 4 or 5 years. These guys know each other. It reminds me of your team, the St. Pete's, and what they did to Purdue. I'm telling you, I'm calling upset with Kentucky.
I watched that game again yesterday. I was so bored. Yeah. I put on because I still had the St. Peter's game on my DVR. I went back and I watched St. Peter's beat, you know who? Who'd they draft, the Pistons?
Purdue.
I know.
Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey. Yep. They beat Jaden Ivey in Purdue. So I went back and watched that. I was so bored. But that Illinois game against Wisconsin was a hell of a Big Ten championship game. So we'll see how the Big Ten does. But Michigan State as a seed, as like a higher seed versus like a lower seed, they don't lose. So an 8 versus a 9, they'll win this game. They will win the first game. And then they'll get North Carolina, and we'll see what happens.
Make sure you remember, you heard it here first. Oakland over Kentucky.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and I tweeted that out yesterday too. I think Oakland can beat Kentucky. Yeah. I don't know if they will beat Kentucky, but one of the things about this tournament, you see a team like Oakland, they've been together for so many years, playing a team in Kentucky that hasn't been together for as long as Oakland has. If guys at Oakland, and I mentioned this before, but if you could just get through looking at the name on the front of the jersey and just the historical relevance of that Kentucky jersey, if you could strip that away and just play basketball, shirts and skins, Oakland would absolutely have a good chance to win that game. But you don't know the mental psyche of a player until you actually see it. How many times, Braylon, have you played a game when you knew at Michigan you won the game the minute you came out, because those opponents would come out of that tunnel and see the helmets and look around at 100,000 people, and they've already lost. Now, if Oakland has the ability to look past all that stuff, I think they'll really have a good chance to win this game.
Good call.
You're absolutely right. I just remember.
But again, until you do that, you have no idea about that.
You're right. I remember looking at teams, Maz, when this is at Michigan Stadium, it's at the Big House, sideline, and this is during the national anthem. Like national anthem, I'm dialed in. I'm looking at the flag, got my hands behind my back. That's just the stance that I chose. I'm looking at the other sideline though, and you just see all the kids on the team. They just
looking around.
Like whole national anthem's going on. And they just looking around. They're like, man, this is crazy. They play like you instantly know you're playing against fans. You're playing against people that are in awe. But it's the same thing that you're talking about. If you can just get to the locker room, if you can just get to halftime down less than 5, well, not even 10,
Right.
like 6, 7.
Right.
Like, because then you go in the locker room, like, we can beat these guys.
Right.
Like, they're Kentucky, but we can beat these guys. We're in there. They're up 6, and they're only up 6 because, I played bad defense on this play, or they hit a couple threes. So if they can get in that locker room at halftime, down 6 or less, then you start to buy in. Then you start to believe and say, nah, they ain't like that. They ain't like that.
UConn's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
They won last year. They're heavily favored this year.
31-3.
They're a number one again. The number one.
Yeah.
Pete, did you put up the 4 number ones?
I've actually got UConn winning it all again.
It's going to be hard to bet against them.
Yeah, they have not. There has not been a repeat champion in college basketball since Florida in 06, 07. That was Joakim Noah, right?
And Al Horford.
Al Horford.
And Corey Brewer.
Corey Brewer,
Yeah.
that's right.
Was that Billy Donovan as the head coach?
Yeah, that's right.
Billy the Kid.
And if you have not filled out a bracket yet, or even if you have, we invite everybody to go to woodwardsports.com and get involved with our bracket challenge. I filled out my bracket today, and I looked at the Final Four teams last year, by the way. Can you guys tell me who the Final Four teams last year were?
San Diego State, Miami, UConn, and
Florida Atlantic.
God bless you guys. I had to look it up. I knew UConn had won it. I had no idea who was in the Final Four.
They beat San Diego State.
They beat Brian Dutcher's San Diego State team in the national championship game.
We cheated.
And it was Miami, UConn on one side, and Florida Atlantic and San Diego State on the other side of that bracket. So I kept that in mind when I was filling out my bracket today. One of the teams that I'm making it to the Final Four, actually, I haven't making it to the championship game. You want me just to tell you who my surprise team of this tournament will be?
Go ahead.
McNeese.
McNeese State.
It's not McNeese State anymore. I think they dropped the state. It's just McNeese. Yes, Joe Dumars.
Who do they play in the opening round?
McNeese plays Gonzaga in the 12-5.
So it's the what round?
It is in the Midwest Regional.
Okay.
So McNeese, I have them beating Gonzaga. I have Samford beating Kansas. So then I have McNeese beating Samford. And then McNeese winning, beating TCU. And I think I know I've got them going to the Final Four.
So they'll win at Little
Detroit.
Caesars Arena.
Yeah.
Is the way you have it.
Yep. Hold this tape. Keep this tape if you'd like. And, so I've got McNeese as my surprise
So that
team.
should tell everyone else that's in this bracket, in our bracket challenge, that, Ryan is completely out already. So you guys can get involved. That's a $50,000 championship.
You don't have to worry
guys.
about him.
I have Vermont beating Duke in the first round as well.
The Catamounts.
Yep, Vermont beating Duke in the 3-4. And, by the way, I have James Madison also in the Final Four. So in one half of my bracket, I have James Madison playing McNeese State in the Final Four.
I like James Madison. Now, you know me. I'm a Big East guy.
Right.
Only 3 Big East teams make it, which is a sin.
So
St. John's sitting out.
No, the Johnnies.
So who's my championship game? UConn, Marquette. 2 Big East teams fighting it out for the championship.
Shaka Smart.
I love Shaka Smart.
You know what's funny about that? I was just listening to something they were talking about. The Big East got snubbed. Say 3 teams. They talked about St. John, even though Rick Pitino lost like 8 in a row a couple of times this year. Nova, but they were looking at the Mountain West. The Mountain West has 6 teams in the conference championship. You know what's interesting about that? Who does Mountain West have a TV contract with?
ESPN.
CBS.
Oh, CBS.
CBS does the tournament, so
Okay.
it's a little bit of like,
usually
we get what's going on.
Usually the Big Ten will have 8 to 10.
I think they had 6.
They have
right?
6 this time, and they were weak this year.
It's a terrible.
They really were
conference.
weak.
I don't know how they
this
got
year.
6.
Yeah, I don't either.
After Nebraska and Purdue and Illinois, I'm good.
Wisconsin's pretty
they played
fun to
good.
watch.
Okay, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's fun to watch, and so is Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska I like.
is actually
They
pretty
can
fun
score.
to watch too. I love teams that can score, and that's why watching Michigan State a little bit. They have the most boring 2008 offense that you can have. They run that weave around the 3 points. No shooters. Nobody is a threat to catch that ball and shoot it.
Hogarth took a step back.
They're looking for a dump in down low. Like the offense that they run is something you would see in 2008. It's so old and so tired.
It's 2008, 2009 is when they went to the national championship.
Yeah, well,
there you go.
The game has evolved, and they certainly don't have the horses for that. But I don't know. With no shooters.
Shooters. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of no shooters, Michigan nowhere even near the tournament. Doug McDaniel hit the transfer portal today. They need all new players. They need all new coaches.
Yeah. You know what? Maybe they'll get a guy like a Shaka Smart to come over. You don't know. There's some big names out there that might come over here to try to reinvigorate this program.
You know, I was watching college basketball a little bit over the weekend. The guy from Iowa State really impressed me. Iowa State's a damn good basketball team. And I know this is a name that people aren't going to like. But I would lob off a call to Richard Pitino as well. Junior.
So from Minnesota.
Who went to
He's been
New
there a
Mexico,
while.
I believe. New Mexico. He got fired from Minnesota. It was his first major gig. He's gone to New Mexico. 3 years ago, they won 6 games. Ever since, after 3 years, they won the conference tournament.
I picked them to win a game or two.
And he's on his way to I just think, don't write guys off that fail at their first big job.
Shaka Smart.
You know what I mean?
He failed
he had
at
VCU.
Texas. He was at Texas.
Yeah.
He was at VCU, but then Texas.
The big job was Texas.
Yes.
Didn't do well. They fired him. It's a football school.
Exactly.
Fired him. He goes to Marquette. He's built a monster right there. You're absolutely right about that.
So, I mean, just don't discount guys like that. You know, sometimes it doesn't work out, but you learn a lot at places like that. And I think he would be a really good fit.
Michigan will be back.
Back in the Big Ten.
They will be back.
And
how many years?
And don't
3
forget,
years.
Don't forget Rick Pitino, Dad Rick Pitino, was going to be hired to coach at Michigan, but then he took the Louisville job the night before.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Remember that?
I do remember that.
I remember that.
That's why it was funny they played each other.
Exactly. His wife wanted to go to Louisville instead or something about that. It was the night before he was going to accept
That would have been another
job.
Fab Four. If you had another Fab Five, I mean,
Yeah.
That would have been an interesting
there.
choice for Michigan too. Like considering what the sanctions and everything was going on at the time, for them to hire Rick Pitino would have been that'd been interesting.
Adiz 411 in the chat says Kevin Ollie at Michigan. You know, Kevin Ollie is an interesting name.
National champion,
champion with UConn, but I feel like he's an NBA guy.
Yeah.
Isn't he with the Nets?
He is the head coach, interim head coach of the New Jersey Nets. So
Brooklyn.
Of the Brooklyn
They
Nets,
left Jersey.
excuse me.
All right, buddy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know which direction they'll go, obviously, but you know, did you see John U. Bacon's tweet over the weekend?
I did.
Saying that John Beilein is open, essentially, to taking over as head coach if he's asked. Don't you have to make that call? Even if it's a bridge couple-year situation. You see what Rick Pitino has done at St. John's, completely taking a dormant franchise, a dormant university school with, 30 years of no history and just revive that program. And I know they missed out on the tournament this year, but he has completely reinvigorated that program. If John Beilein came back to Michigan, don't you think that would just be a slam dunk? And if you're Ward Manuel, don't you absolutely have to make that call?
We just talked about Maz taking over for his girls' softball team, correct? And what did we say why it was a great hire, a good situation for Matt? He's a teacher. He's going to teach them the right way. He's going to get them involved the right way. He's going to make them do the right things, like running through the bases. That's what Beilein would do for Michigan. You got to get back. There was no coaching. Was it Phil Martelli or was it, Howard Isley helping out with Juwan Howard? He's a guy that didn't know the X's and O's. He's a guy that didn't necessarily have the guys invested in the program. Beilein will bring back that sense of investment, bring back that sense of self, and just pride about having a scholarship, being at the University of Michigan, and getting a chance and opportunity to play these games.
This is the tweet. If you're watching it on YouTube, you can see it now. It has come to my attention that John Beilein might consider the Michigan men's basketball head coaching position if asked. But I don't know if he'll be asked. we're still in the nobody knows anything territory. Just about anything could happen at this point. Yeah, I see Ken Brown in the chat here say he's 71. Move on. I just don't see it like that. I just don't see age as any barrier to any job that you can have anymore ever.
Nick Saban's 70.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And still got to the Final Four. If you can coach, you can not the Final Four. Well, yeah, I guess it is the Final Four, the playoff. If you can coach, you can coach. Like if you can coach, you can coach. John Beilein clearly still, and also he still cares. You can tell that watching what Michigan has become on the heels of what he kind of what he did create. You can tell he's pissed. He's like, look, that's not the program I left. If they want to ask me, I'll come back. I'll get it at least moving in the right direction.
Just to say, Jim Larinaga, by the way, 74 years old, took Miami
last
situations to the Final Four last year.
Bowling Green.
So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind.
I might bring Beilein in as like a consultant, but I don't think he's going to want to coach this type of kid anymore. With this NIL, this is a new ball game. But I would definitely bring him in as a consultant, a guy that would sit in on interviews, and a guy maybe to sit in like a Phil Martelli did.
Agreed.
Maybe sit in and help. Maybe be on. Maybe be part of it.
He doesn't have to be the main guy in control, but you want him around.
But if he wants to be that guy, I'm calling him up.
Unless you get a young, really good up-and-coming coach, I'm not going to pass that up.
Yeah, I wouldn't pass that up either, but I just don't know who that guy is right now. You know what I mean? I don't know who that guy is. And
they might be coaching in this final 68. We don't know. Michigan's coach might be right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps. If nothing else, he'd be the first person I'd call to say, hey, assist me with this coaching search.
Yes.
What do I need to know about this whole thing?
Agreed.
You know, and again, Michigan basketball did pretty well with John Beilein as head coach, and if he wanted to try to recreate that for at least the next 4 or 5 years, I would absolutely let him. I would absolutely put my stamp of approval on it, and I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yesterday was the 6-year anniversary of the Jordan Poole shot against Houston.
I saw
I'll never forget where I was. I was at the bowling alley that night, and he hits that shot. The whole place just exploded.
I was downtown at a party, like a watch party. It was downtown in Campus Martius area at a bar, and he made that shot, and it's like, wait, did that go in?
Yeah.
He made it, and then obviously,
remember how he jumped and his legs went spread eagle?
It always looked weird.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a weird shot. He made it.
He was a freshman.
He was.
I am shocked by all the people in the chat that are poo-pooing the John Beilein because of the age, 71. A 71-year-old can't coach, but you're running to the ballot box to vote for 2 80-year-olds for president.
There you go. Who's going to run the country, by the way?
You know, if you're 80, you can run the country, but if you're 70, you can't coach a college basketball team.
Hey, let me give you some pushback in the 100%. Let me give pushback to the people in the comments. At the end of the day, basketball, NCAA is non-existent anymore. Nobody wants to coach the NCAA. They don't want to coach football really either. But they don't want to coach the NCAA in basketball. Kids aren't coming to school. It is a crapshoot right now trying to find a coach that wants to coach. And you got a guy that's 71 years old. He's a little old in age, but still knows the game. Still know what he did for the University of Michigan, kind of where he took them. So maybe he's not the head guy, but he can be a consultant. He can be somebody that I have on staff that I feel in good hands that he's around the program. So just because he's 71, look, who's lining up to be the coach? Like, what are these list of names that Michigan has? Nobody wants to coach college basketball right now. So it's a tough process to vet.
And again, if you are at Iowa State and maybe you have a really good NIL package, maybe you can't come to Michigan and do that anymore. I don't know what the NIL situation is for basketball. I don't know what the appetite is for it at all.
Yeah.
You hear what some of the players like Hunter Dickinson say about the NIL situation at Michigan. Maybe it is non-existent. So maybe your talent pool of coaches isn't exactly what you think it should be or could be, because these teams are like, I don't need to be at Michigan to win. I could be at Iowa State and win.
Yeah.
I could be at New Mexico, win my conference tournament every. I'm
doing just fine.
You could do you can be anywhere and do it.
And at the same time, who necessarily wants to come clean Michigan's mess up? Like, Michigan is a mess. Michigan is a mess. And the first question we talked about when Juwan was maybe getting fired, now he is The NIL situation, it works in football because you had Jim Harbaugh. Kids are coming to Michigan because of the winged helmet. They're coming for the team. Harbaugh sold them.
Right.
It's not the same way in basketball. Wait, you mean to tell me I got to come to your school and y'all not paying and y'all stink? It's a double-edged sword right now.
Michigan could get better quicker. If they get the coach, he brings a couple of his players with them, transfer, they could get good, pretty quick, maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah, but you better be prepared to pay them too. I mean, I don't think anybody's following anybody anymore. You just got to pay them. That's where the Beeline situation comes in. One of the greatest parts about Beeline is the development over a number of years. You know what I mean? These guys came in 2-3-star guys, and they left NBA players. You know, I mean,
right.
That's just that might be the way you have to win at Michigan again. And again, I don't know. Maybe you could pay $1 million to a couple of guys. I don't know. I don't anticipate that be the NIL case at Michigan. So you do need a coach that has a history of developing players as well.
Hunter Dickinson leaving Michigan, going to Kansas was the writing on the wall. I understand about the Blue Bloods. I understand about the NIL. But the fact that move was made, you're talking about a guy that was a Big Ten Player of the Year at one point. Talking about University of Michigan. He left Michigan to go to Kansas. The writing was on the wall right then. And
left Juwan Howard too, by the way.
100%.
You know what I mean?
But he went to another blue blood.
No,
Where
he went
got
to
paid
the
$1
Blue
million
Blood.
bucks.
I get that, but I'm saying like that's Michigan right now. If you got players that are Players of the Year leaving this program to go somewhere,
Right.
I get it. It's Kansas, but
you know what? They left Juwan Howard, I think.
True. I give you that.
Guys, we'll take a break. We'll come back, talk a little Lions. They made some roster moves today, and they added a wide receiver. I want Braylon's take on the wide receiver that they
My
added.
guy.
We'll do that next. But first, a message from Pete Spivak.
That's right. Wake up, Woodward! Woodward Sports has a new morning show. Start your day with Wake Up Woodward Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. live right here on Woodward Sports. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and KG every morning as they cover all of Detroit's sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction. All right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
The most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
We We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
You know what? $10 a month is all it takes for you to get in shape, and you do it at Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. I'm going to tell you about this gym. It is squeaky clean. Nothing like going to a gym and it's clean. Oh, man, you go to Planet Fitness, it feels good, enhances the workout. Also, they have the 30-minute, you know about that, Ryan, the 30-minute workout. You loved it, right? Easy
the
peasy.
30-minute circuit is incredible.
Hey, we're going to be in Plymouth tomorrow on call, on remote at Planet Fitness.
We will be at Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. See you tomorrow.
Lily Road.
Hey, before I get to the Lions, can I just mention this one aspect of this dynasty that we've been watching?
Great show.
It's a 10-part series on Apple TV Plus about the Patriots dynasty of the last 20 years or so. And every Friday, another 2 episodes would drop. Yeah. This last Friday, the final 2 episodes dropped, episode 9 and episode 10. I watched episode 9. I have not watched episode 10. I'm going to do that tonight. But episode 9 is the Malcolm Butler not playing in the Super Bowl episode.
That they lost
and
to the Eagles.
The resentment from the players.
And Alshon Jeffrey got off.
Right. Well, exactly. Tom Brady threw for over 500 yards in that game, and the defense couldn't stop anybody.
600 yards they gave up.
Malcolm Butler played 98% of the snaps on defense the entire season, one play in the Super Bowl. And I'm not even sure why he got in at the end or anything like that, but the players talked about how they were so mad about that because they felt like Bill Belichick let them down.
And you know what? He didn't find out till the game started.
So one of the things about that is they asked Bill Belichick why Malcolm Butler didn't play. Robert Kraft says it was something personal between Malcolm Butler and Bill Belichick. And let me tell you, Bill Belichick is asked why Malcolm Butler does not play in that Super Bowl. And I swear to God, I have never seen a look like this before in my life.
It's like he glitched.
It was
death.
Like when people say if looks could kill, that was this look.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine, am I overselling that?
No.
Okay.
No, he hardly said a word.
So it only leads me to believe one thing. And I'm just saying it. Malcolm Butler had to make a move on his wife or something like that.
His girlfriend.
Like his girlfriend or a wife or something personal like that.
How old is his kids? Does he have a daughter?
I don't know. I don't know if Bill Belichick has a daughter or anything like that. I know he's got a son. The son is a coach.
Stephen Belichick.
Stephen Belichick is a coach on the team. It's
big eyes on that
It's
guy.
almost like if you saw the look, it is the only thing that can draw that kind of look. And then you've got Robert Kraft saying it was something personal it was a personal matter between the two.
Belichick really in this, he looks so bad.
Terrible.
In the last 5 episodes. He looks worse every episode. It kind of takes a shine off of what he did. It's a miracle that this team hung together and got to so many Super Bowls. I hate them. I didn't want to watch this. And I can't watch it enough. That's how good it is.
Speaking of
and I respect the hell out of him.
Yeah, when you first said it before the show you said that, maybe he messed with his wife. I don't think he has daughters, so maybe he messed with his wife. I'm like, first of all, as a former player, never, ever, ever do you talk to the coaches' wives. Now, coaches' wives get flirty and things like that, but you don't talk to the coaches' wives, especially Belichick. Plus, she didn't look that good, in my opinion.
I don't know how she looked.
But
she's a nice-looking lady.
Not if I'm 28.
Well, you're different than me.
Look
out there in Birmingham. Everyone looks good.
But the one thing I will say is it may kind of make some sense. Malcolm Butler also has never said anything.
Right.
Like Malcolm Butler has never come out and been like, this is why I didn't play, or this is what he said. He talked crazy to me. Malcolm Butler's never said anything. So maybe there is truth to that, because if I'm Malcolm Butler and I tried to talk to Bill's wife, and that's why I didn't play. I'm not telling people that's what happened. I don't know.
They asked Butler in this series.
What did he
say? And he still says to this day, I still do not know what I did to deserve to not play in that Super
It's
Bowl.
incredible. Shawshank Subramanium in the chat says, LMAO, I was just typing, Malcolm Butler slept with Belly's wife. I mean, and again, guys, if you watch, it's the only thing that you could possibly deduce from the situation. Let me see this.
Like, if I'm Malcolm Butler, I'm not risking my career for that.
She's a beautiful woman.
He's 28 with millions. You know
It
what he
doesn't
has
matter.
access. You know what he has access to?
Yeah, but it don't matter.
He has
Sometimes it looks. Your boss's
Sometimes
wife
it's just
looks
the
great.
Story.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just the story.
Right.
I feel you.
Right.
I feel you, but like in that case, go try to sleep with Giselle Bunnikin then. Since you messing around with wives on the team, why not go mess with Giselle? Sheesh.
I don't. And again, I don't even know what it is, but it's something. It's the only thing I could possibly think of.
The death stare, huh? Yeah, I mean, the fact that Malcolm Butler, I've always wondered. I was waiting for like Malcolm Butler to retire. I was waiting for like the Patriots to disband, Belichick to get fired. All that happened, and we still have nothing.
Yeah, man. And I don't know. It was just so bizarre.
She like them black
that
guys,
after
huh?
all this time.
I highly recommend you guys watch this series.
I can't wait for episode 9 and
10. You're up to 10.
Episode 10. It is interesting when you look at the Belichick and how poorly he is viewed. You had Danny Amendola ripping him. You had Rob Gronkowski ripping him. You had Tom Brady kind of ripping him. As much as Brady would ever do it. Yeah. Robert Kraft puts everything on Belichick. I mean, all of these people.
He blamed that loss on Belichick.
He blamed that loss on Belichick. He blamed the relationship on Belichick.
Yes.
He blamed running these guys into the ground on Belichick. He blamed Malcolm
Butler
away on Belichick. He blamed everything on Belichick.
Kennedy assassination?
Yeah, right. But just totally bizarre, man.
By the way, there's Pete just put this out, JPA Football on Twitter. The Vikings are planning to have a private workout with J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to try to trade up. I think J.J. is the third quarterback taken after Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. There's no doubt about it.
Were you as shocked as me, guys? When I saw on Saturday the news coming over about Justin Fields, I first of all had to check to make sure it was not Shafter, Adam Shafter instead of Schefter.
Right. I did the same thing.
For a 6th-round pick that might be a 4th-round pick. And the rumor is that the Bears could have gotten a much better deal, or a better deal at least, but he turned down 4 different other teams, and they had promised him. Ryan Poles promised him, I'll take care of you, Justin. I'm going to trade you, but I'm not going to trade you to somewhere you don't want to be. And he wanted to follow in Russell Wilson's footsteps. And when I saw that news, what's the first thing that you say as a football fan of your team? Why couldn't my team at least give up a 6th-round pick to put this guy on the bench? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand.
Makes sense why Kenny Pickett got traded the day before, right?
They said he was pissed. They actually wanted to keep Pickett a little bit and kind of waiting, but they said as soon as he found out about it, he was hot, so they got him up.
Pickett was done last season when he didn't want to follow in Mason Rudolph's footsteps.
Yeah.
He was just a malcontent.
Mm-hmm. They wanted him to dress as the emergency quarterback. He said,
wouldn't.
No, thank you.
No,
right.
I'm still in shock of it. I know we're going to do Lions.
No, yeah.
But to me, that's the biggest story of the weekend.
So go ahead, Bray.
No, just with the Justin Fields situation, I think, everybody's always 6th pick, we could have did this, or the Bears are dumb and this, that, and the third. In my estimation, I think the Bears are trying to make, something happen. I don't think there was a large market for Justin like we thought it was. I think the market that we were just assuming, they get a 2, they get a 3, they can do this, they can do that. I don't necessarily think the market. I think the numbers, regardless of what the offensive coaching situation was for him and his 4 years with the Bears, they looked at the numbers, they looked at the 4th quarter numbers, and they looked at the erratic play and said, I don't think he's a guy that can win me playoff games.
You're 100% right, Braylon.
Yeah.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. We don't know what the hell we're talking about when it comes to quarterbacks. Yeah. Basically, if you look at he
looks pretty good to me.
If you look at what media types say, versus what the actual market was with all 32 teams in the National Football League, what is the one position in football that people are so freaking desperate for above all else? Quarterbacks. In this desperate era we're living in, where people are getting traded left and right, where teams are giving away draft capital and blowing players out of the water.
Wow.
That's a good
just
one.
to try to move up to get some unknown quarterback that you have no idea what they're going to look like in the NFL. To have Justin Fields go for a 6th-round pick to be a backup to Russell Wilson tells you everything what you need to know about what the NFL thinks of Justin Fields. Not what we think of Justin Fields, but it tells you everything you need to know about what NFL types think of Justin Fields. They don't believe he's a good player.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you look.
Or excuse me, they don't believe he's a franchise quarterback.
And that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for essentially right now. You're looking at Justin Fields. Can this guy get my team to the playoffs, and can he win a game? Is this a guy that I think might even be able to get to a conference championship at some point? Hasn't had the most talent to work with, got some this past season. It just it looks like this. Like when you watch Justin Fields, and you can have this real conversation since the NFL has shown us, what we saw with our own 2 eyes. He's erratic. He's all over the place. The fourth quarter, he throws the most interceptions out of any quarterback in the NFL. Also, you see what he does. He's just taking off and running. Now, he had to do it at one point, but now he's turned into a running quarterback that doesn't necessarily have to run all the time. So, can he win a playoff game for your team? I think that's the benchmark, and I don't think he can.
I'll tell you what, man. If I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I'm a lot happier than I was last year. A lot happier. I believe the Steelers will make the playoffs in the AFC.
But I still
can they
don't
win a
think
Super
they can
Bowl?
win a Super Bowl.
I don't. Probably not. But I think they could be a dangerous team again. And congrats to the Steeler fans who they get everything, man. They get a winning team every single year.
Just back to the Bears for a second. They are, according to Ian Rappaport, going to take Caleb Williams now number 1 overall. And
it's too cold.
It is. I put a.
Do they have a manicurist on site?
Well, and I don't think we have this in the rundown.
Stop it.
But I got a picture. I saw a picture over the weekend of QB1
Got that dress
of Caleb Williams, and it was him wearing a dress, him painting his fingernails, him crying after a game in the stands. And there was one other picture.
In his mom's arms.
It was 2 crying.
In his mom's arms.
Yeah, it was 2 crying. So it was him in a dress, him painted fingernails, and him crying to his mom, and then him crying again. And it just had the caption, QB1.
First you
and
cry,
again,
then you cry again.
I know we're in a different era of player. I still think the NFL locker room is, I don't want to say archaic because it's not. The NFL locker room has transformed and come around to society as well, but probably at a much slower pace than actual society, potentially. I just don't know how that's going to be viewed. I don't know how that's going to be viewed in a locker room with grown men.
I'll help you out since I was in those locker rooms. This is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough one. Let's start here. I don't want anybody to say, oh, my God, Braylon does blah, blah. Now, hear me out. People can do what the heck they want to do. I'm talking about the repercussions of that. Everybody's trying in this new era. You see guys or you see people trying to fit in with the culture, fit in with the trend so that they can have a bigger following, so that they can make more money on and off the field or on and off the court. You see Russell Westbrook wearing dresses and skirts and things during the Met Gala. You saw Odell Beckham last year. I think he wore a dress and all that kind of stuff. They do that. It enhances their brand off the field. With that being said, Odell's wide out. Okay, Odell's not the leader on your team. If you want to go wear dresses in the Met Gala, by all means, do what you want to do. Just make sure you catching. I was about to say the pill, but make sure you catching the football when it's time to get out there doing the games. The quarterback, the leader of your team, is out here wearing dresses. Wow, like that's not going to be received well in the locker room. So somebody better get in his ear. All the painting the fingernails and all that stuff. Better figure it out before you get to Chicago, because this one some grown men in that locker room. It's not going to go over well.
Let me ask you, Bray, like the first guy that I think of, because you're like, has a quarterback ever kind of been this eccentric, for
You
lack
say
of a
Broadway
better word.
Joe?
Nah, not so much Broadway Joe. I was going to say Cam Newton. Cam Newton. I do think it's different, too. Cam was much different than this, and this is the picture I was referring to.
Listen, Cam, no homo. Cam was a man. Like, Cam was a man. He was 6'6", 250, win the Heisman, like, run you over. Like, Cam in his prime, even Cam now. You saw what he did when everybody tried to jump him. Cam is a man. He wore some questionable hats. That's it. This guy got on a dress. Like, he has on a full-blown dress with his fingernails painted. You can get away with that in L.A. and USC, not in the league.
And again,
what if your niece painted your nails?
Can I just make the clarification?
I just want to ask him that.
Can I just make the clarification too? Because I think
you take it off when you leave her house.
I think one of the things that we're trying to say too, like, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
nobody up here is saying what you can do, but there is an idealistic view of what an NFL locker room is like, and then a realistic view of what an NFL locker room is like. And, fortunately for our show, we have somebody on our show that has been in these rooms for damn near a decade. So you could speak to what goes on in these rooms. And I don't know. Forget about all this other stuff. I think his play on the field, too, is completely erratic.
Yeah.
I saw a stat that he's played 31 of the last 31 college football games he's played, he's had 30 fumbles.
Jared Goff.
You talk about Jared Goff's small hand size, too, which potentially could lead to a number of fumbles. And thankfully, look, if anybody's going to make the mistake, I'm glad the Bears are doing it because they're in the Lions division. I don't root against anybody, but I just don't see this working out.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be interesting, man. I'm interested. I'm actually tuned in like it's a soap opera. Like, I want to see what happens from the word go. How you think the NFL draft, walking across the stage. What is he wearing at the draft, which is actually here. So I get a chance to see it first class and then I'm in person. But I don't care that it's evolved. Once again, this is just talking about how it's going to be perceived and what the obstacles are going to be. It's going to be a tough spot, man. You walk in the locker room first time with a dress on. I don't mind people being who they are, but at the same time, football locker room, it's still a Neanderthal type place to a certain extent. I mean, guys are told to go out there and kill other guys,
right?
And I mean that in a metaphorical sense. But you got Ray Lewis in the locker room and guys like that just. Maybe it is evolving. I don't know. I ain't been in the locker room in a while.
Right.
Maybe things are changing.
But you talk to people.
I do.
You still got. You were just on the field at camp for the Jets. You've 100%. Been back there a bunch of times. You do know those players. You do get the mood of what that is like. You were at an event with some Lions players. You do know what's going on. So.
He's going to be given the Jets' second-round draft pick live on ESPN.
This is true.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Third round. I looked it up.
Third round.
They don't have a second-round
That's
pick.
fine.
So 100%.
That is so cool, man.
It's going to be fun.
Who asked you to do that?
Tracy Perlman, who's with the NFL. She's like second in command under Roger Goodell. And then the Jets. Jets reached out to me and asked me to do it. So.
That's cool. Hey, back to Justin Fields. Apparently, the Mike Tomlin and the Steelers did talk to Russell Wilson the night before they were about to make that trade, and he was all for it.
Yeah,
he had to sign off. Yeah. He had to sign off on it. He was all for it.
There it is.
He welcomed Justin Fields the next day on Twitter, on X, and I understand. Let's get it, Justin Fields. Quarterback room about to be fire. And there is no quarterback controversy. This is not a quarterback competition in Pittsburgh. Russ is the starter. Justin Fields is the backup.
Yeah. You know what I like about this, and I don't want to go to the black card, but I love the fact they brought him in, Russell Wilson, you bring him in, and this could be an opportunity for Russell Wilson to be everything that we kind of heard he might have been in Seattle. Heard he might have been in Denver. He could be this or he could be an a-hole. He's not a teammate type guy. What is the first thing he does? He said, no, bring the brother in, man. Let's do this, man. Let's have some mentorship. I love that. And I actually love the fact that the Steelers asked him as well. Say, hey, how you feeling about this move? That shows that they have a lot of respect for Russell. And I think both these quarterbacks, this is going to be a good fit in terms of what did Russ not get in the last two spots, the last three coaches? Haven't had support. That's the thing that he's trying to get. You saw how Sean Payton dogged him out at Ford Field in front of the whole nation. Same thing with Justin Fields, kind of didn't necessarily have that support in Chicago, 2 different coaches, 4 different offensive coordinators. I think this is some stability for them, especially after they fired Matt Canada, thank God.
Sean Payton never gave Russ a chance.
Nope.
Never tried to be a friend, never tried to be a mentor. He was against them from the day one, and it showed. And now he goes to a team that wants him, a coach that believes in him, and a coach that wants his ideas. They didn't want his ideas in Seattle at the end. They didn't want anything to do with him when he went to Denver. Now he gets a chance. I'm a Russ guy.
I am too.
I believe, like I said, I think the Steelers are going to be contenders.
The media, and I know you guys hate when I categorize everything.
It depends.
100%. In this particular instance, the media set that thing in motion with Sean Payton and Russell from jump. Remember the first question they asked Sean Payton? Said, what about Russell in his the extra locker room or this, that, and the third? Called him on the spot. Sean Payton was like, wait, what? Extra locker room? We ain't doing none of that there. Set it in motion from the word go. And then they were at odds ever since that interview.
And you got to give Russell Wilson a lot of credit, too, for this because this player seems like a completely different player than the one that's portrayed over the last couple of years in Denver as this total me guy, as this guy that has parking spaces and disconnected from the team to feel included enough to help make a decision to bring a young player in Justin Fields over to support that player and to welcome him with open arms, I think is a much different Russell Wilson than the one that's portrayed or has been portrayed to the sports fans through media over the last couple of years.
I think I'm going to get some Steelers gear. I don't have one Steelers thing. I could have bought up a million things when I was in Pittsburgh. Guess what? I'm going to buy some Steelers gear.
I might have to get you some Steelers gear.
Yeah.
Just being a guy that, like I said, I was in Seattle when Russ got drafted. His first year, I was there.
You caught his first touchdown pass.
I did.
Preseason, though.
Preseason.
I love it.
Against the Chiefs. It's against the Tennessee Titans, excuse me. But he's just a different guy. He's a guy that marches to the beat of his own drum. He's not necessarily out there doing what certain other guys on the team doing, whether it's smoking, whether it's, indulging, whether it's women or whatever it is. He's a guy, believes in God, has Christian values, Christian faith football. He does a lot of studying. And I think sometimes that rubs guys the wrong way. Like when you can't connect with guys, you got to find the end. But I don't think a lot of times guys, they don't understand. I think other things happen. And then you look at the Broncos. A lot of Broncos players are already mad at Russ before he even knew who he was.
Right.
He got to the team. They sent a bunch of their players away. People were mad at that. You saw when the offensive lineman went off on Russ 2 years ago. He was best friends with the defensive end that they sent to Seattle. So I just think he's been in some bad spots. I think this is a good one for him.
It's a great spot.
I like that, man, as well.
It's a great spot. It's a great spot, but there is a cap to it.
Not if they get a receiver.
Okay, let me just play in the time remaining to the break. Let me just play a quick game with you guys.
Fire move.
May I please play a quick game with you guys?
We would love it.
Go ahead.
Okay. AFC quarterbacks you'd rather have.
Oh, my God.
There we go.
Russell Wilson or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen.
Go ahead.
I'm asking.
I'll take Josh.
Okay. Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Maz, it's a talk show. You have to speak.
I know. You gave me two tough ones.
Well, just saying.
You gave me two tough. All right, I'll take A-Rod.
Okay.
Those were tough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson or Lamar Jackson?
Okay. Lamar.
Okay, that's 3-0. Let's continue on. Russell Wilson or Joe Burrow?
I'll save you the hassle. Everybody in the AFC.
Okay.
I'll take Russ over Tua.
Well, I didn't ask you about Tua.
Okay.
I asked you about Joe Burrow. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Joey B.
Okay. Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes?
Come on.
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, Patrick, that's 5. Russell Wilson or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. That's 6 quarterbacks.
Okay. We're talking about almost a 40-year-old guy now.
Well,
against these young kids.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what it actually is.
Right.
Like, good for Russell Wilson, good for the Steelers, but he's the 7th best quarterback in the AFC, not in the NFL.
That's fine.
In the AFC,
Hold on.
at best.
Keep going on that list.
Tua Tagovailoa or Russell?
Tua.
No.
Okay. Braylon knows more about football.
No, he don't.
Tua's been very efficient in his 3 seasons in the NFL. Knock it off.
Deshaun Watson or
Deshaun Watson.
I'm taking Russ.
Eight.
Russ.
Okay, you got
Deshaun Watson.
Okay,
Russ.
Matt. 8. No. Anthony Richardson.
Russ.
Anthony Richardson.
Okay, that's 9.
Take Anthony Richardson.
Okay, what about the kid from Jacksonville that y'all like?
I'm taking
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'll take Russ.
Okay, you're 3. You're 9. No.
Yes. 9-9. I'll take Russell over Mac Jones.
Russ.
I'll take Russell over Mac
and then
Jones.
Mac's gone.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
So Braylon has Russell
got the
Wilson
Raiders quarterback.
as we don't know who the Raiders
Oh,
quarterback
it's
is.
Aiden. What's his name?
Aiden O'Connell.
Aiden-
Aiden O'Connell.
Okay.
I'm taking Russ.
taking Russ.
Taking Russ.
Taking Russ.
Okay, so Braylon has Russell Wilson as the 10th best quarterback in the AFC.
Yeah.
Maz, you have him as the 7th best quarterback.
6.
7.
Okay,
there were
fine.
6 quarterbacks that you've named
Okay,
that
buddy.
were better than him. So let's just not make the Russell Wilson situation bigger than
How
it
many
actually
teams make
is.
the playoffs in the AFC?
7.
They're going to be one of them.
There you go.
They make the playoffs every year, no matter who the quarterback is. So that doesn't bode well for Russell if they make the playoffs. They made the playoffs last year.
They're going to win a game.
Mason Rudolph is the quarterback.
Top of hour number 2
They're gonna
coming up
win a
next.
game.
We'll talk some Lions. We'll get to that wide receiver talk that we promised. A half hour ago now, but nonetheless, we'll do
It's
Lions
teams.
next. We'll get to Pete right now for.
Can we do the NFC versus Russ, too?
Would you keep quiet? I have a read to do. Sell some merch. Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch or listening to Maz ramble on? It's a new era in
shut your
sports
mic off.
wearables, new designs, amazing apparel, and ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Do you have Soroki's? I guess no, I think Braylon had it. So we'll go to commercial and we'll be right back with some more Ermanni Networks with Maz.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, how about hitting the best pet store in Michigan? You know it. It is Premier Pet Supply, hands down. Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. About 13 Metro Detroit locations. They've got it all. 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Curbside delivery. Nutritionists available to answer your questions. Get them right now. Hit them online at premierpetsupply.com.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? The answer is
Nothing.
Nothing. Let me tell you about Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Their food is amazing. I know if you guys are looking at this picture right now, you can see it. Crispy chicken is the thing. Pizza, salad, and sides as well. Perfect takeout option. They have it all. Also, they're popping up everywhere. Canton, Farmington Hills, Hazard, Romulus, you name it, they are probably there. That's Sarokis, Soroki's.com. Soroki's and Woodward Sports, that's crispy.
Hour number 2 of the program. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got Mike. We got Pete over here. What's up, Maz?
I want a rematch. I want you to do the things again. I want you to go through the teams again.
Right.
But I want.
What are you talking
I
about?
get the Russ, Justin Fields combo versus the rest of the AFC quarterbacks.
That's not. You don't play two quarterbacks at once. You don't play two. You don't play two quarterbacks, man.
You got two. You got none.
You don't play two quarterbacks.
I'm just saying, if Russ
I'll take Trevor
fails,
Lawrence
if
and,
Russ fails, the Steelers have
Okay,
Justin Fields.
Would you take Justin Fields over any one of the 6 quarterbacks that you already said were better than him?
Yes.
You would take him over Joe Burrow,
No.
Josh Allen,
No.
Patrick Mahomes,
I take him
No.
over Anthony Richardson.
Justin Herbert,
No.
Aaron Rodgers,
No.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm still right there.
You're
with
still right
in
there,
the sweet
7.
spot.
I
at
take
7.
him over Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, okay, there
there
you
you
go.
go.
So you got 9 now instead of 10. Guys, let's talk little Lions, little signing, under the radar signing over the weekend, a 1-year, $2 million deal for Donovan Peoples-Jones, the
I told you
former,
they're gonna keep him.
Michigan receiver that they acquired in the during the season in a trade with the Cleveland Browns. So he signs a 1-year, $2 million deal. Really, it didn't really click for him, I don't think, when he came over midseason. But after being with the team for, a handful of games at the end of the year, after a full offseason with the team, working with Jared Goff, Braylon, what do you make of this signing? Could he satisfy that Josh Reynolds role, or do they still need another guy?
Look, I like him. I think they still need another guy, but this could work out. I was definitely with Maz in terms of keeping him home. I told you he went to Cass Tech, which is a nickel throw away from Ford Field. Him and my mom go to the same church, Empowerment, right there in Southfield and 10 Miles. So he's a homegrown kid. He's also a hardball guy. Like, Dan Campbell likes hardball guys. You're starting to see it. The conversation that they had at the Combine, he also played for Jim Harbaugh. He's a good kid. I know him well. He's also a guy that makes plays. Like, he made plays in Cleveland when given an opportunity. Juice Landry as well as Odell was injured the majority of the time there. He had 800 yards one season. I think he had 14 games started, 800 yards. He had 600 yards the year before that, both 3 touchdown seasons. He's a guy that makes plays. We saw that whether he was running punts back in Michigan or whether he was in the end zone as a wide receiver. He can make plays, and you give him a year with Jared Goff. I'm not bringing this guy in here to be number one, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro, but you're bringing him in to be a third wide receiver. He's a guy that has starting potential. You put him in at a 3 spot, a lot of mismatches on teams. So I think he's a guy that $2 million is well spent for Detroit. I still would get another guy, but I definitely like him earning that 3rd spot. It's a guy I like.
So does he take Josh Reynolds' spot?
Yeah.
He does?
He does.
So we're not going to see Josh Reynolds, you don't think?
You will not.
You feel confident in this guy taking Josh Reynolds' spot? I like him. I'm just asking you.
That's a tough spot to take, and that's because Josh Reynolds and Jared Goff have chemistry.
Yes.
They had chemistry in L.A. That's why they went and brought Josh Reynolds to Detroit. You remember, Jared really didn't have a – Quintus Cephas was Jared Goff's guy in the mid-game, and then they brought in Josh Reynolds. He made some plays at the end of the season. So that chemistry – definitely is a really good chemistry, so you're going to miss that. But at the same time, look, I know you can't be judged for 1 drop or 2 drops in this case. You can't. It happens to the best of them. He did some really good things for the Detroit Lions. But when your number is called as a guy that's not making $30 million, not making $25 million, when your number is called, you got to deliver. And then when your number is called again, in the biggest game that Detroit Lions have ever seen, maybe the second biggest because it happened again in 91, your name's called twice. You dropped both passes.
This was bigger.
Let's be honest. They would have won the game. Or they couldn't. I don't want to do Josh like that. They probably would have won the game if he catches one of those. Definitely if he catches both of those. That's tough for an owner. That's tough for a coach. That's tough for a GM to overlook. If you make it $30 million, there's nothing we can do about it. If you're the number 2 and you're making $20 million, all right, you got to catch that. The 3rd receiver, it's tough.
So Josh is going to make – he wants too much money.
Yeah,
basically, instead of giving Josh $6 million, $7 million, they'll give DPJ $2 million. Is what you're saying, and draft a receiver 100%. Maybe.
And you look at Josh Reynolds. Only Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Sam Laporta caught more passes and more touchdowns than Josh Reynolds. That is
all his catches are first downs.
All of them are first downs or touchdowns. That is an incredibly important role to fill. And look, I love Donovan Peoples-Jones. I hope it works out. I haven't seen. I got to see it now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I got to see it.
Maybe he gets that pat on the back, the confidence. Maybe he turns it. Hey, look, we're going with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Now give us what you know he can give us.
Right.
You need somebody to believe in you.
That's
right
what I
now,
mean.
The Lions, I'm agreeing with you. And right now, it seems like the Lions are believing in Donovan Peoples-Jones, which will give him some confidence, which will give him. It's a guy that already has confidence. But just going back to the Josh Reynolds deal, Ryan, man, I think it's tough also to bring him back. One, I'm not paying him I'm not paying $8 million. Like, I'm just not. Not after what I saw in the NFC Championship. Two, the fan base. The fans are brutal. He goes out there, first pass he dropped, they want him out of here. First pass he drops, you're like, here we go. What happens on the next catch? Does he drop another one?
But they forget that when you catch a touchdown. They're fickle. We're fickle fans.
But also, too, for his mental. Where's his mental?
He's out of here. I mean,
where's his mental?
No one signed him yet.
Josh Reynolds, I love Josh Reynolds, but I don't think he'll re-sign here in Detroit.
They just freed up some money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Not
they
for
do. Maybe they do. I don't know, and I'm not. I wouldn't say ship him out of town. If there was an avenue to re-sign Josh Reynolds, I would probably re-sign him. And I do think the fans would be very forgiving of Josh Reynolds.
Of course they would.
They're very forgiving around here for a lot of people. Dan Campbell, kickers.
Look, this is just me. This is my opinion. This is fun. We're going back and forth. We're not agreeing. I'm not agreeing on that one. This isn't Buffalo. This isn't Scott Norwood. This isn't Buffalo. Remember, he missed the kick, and then he goes back to Buffalo, and the people of Buffalo were so happy that they went to the Super Bowl. They come out in droves, and they support him, they cheer him, they clap. We want Scott. That's not Detroit. You cannot tell me if Scott Norwood played for the Lions and missed a field goal to win it, they would be bringing him out. Same thing with Josh Reynolds. Like, the Lions fans, remember, you just told me it was the biggest game in Detroit Lions history.
It was.
Well, in the biggest game in Detroit Lions history, he dropped two passes that probably would have gotten your team to the Super Bowl. A lot of fans ain't going to forget
The
that.
one thing I don't like about the wide receiver room right now as it is, you've got a lot of young guys, man. Everybody in that room is less than 25 years old. You know what I mean? How old is Amon-Ra St. Brown? 25 years old?
20,
He's the leader.
Yeah, 25.
You know,
He's the leader
he's
for sure.
24 years old. He'll be 25, I think. Man, I love to have quote-unquote veterans in the room. You know, you've got DPJ, which is 25.
Yeah.
You got Amon-Ra at 24. Jameson Williams is, 22?
Yeah.
There's nobody really in that room that is that 27, 28, 29-year-old like Josh Reynolds was. I just think I don't know if that matters in today's NFL because it doesn't feel like there's a lot of 30-year-olds in the league anymore. I think Marvin Jones was the oldest player in the league at wide receiver.
That wasn't a quarterback.
Last year. So, and that didn't work out so well either. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it feels like a very young room.
It is.
No, it is a young room. I'm going to give you two sides of the coin. Like, that definitely it pays to have older guys. I remember when I was with the Jets, Jericho Cotchery was a phenomenal wide receiver from North Carolina State. He was 28. I was 27. Santonio Holmes was 26. So we had some older guys in that room, so we were able to bounce a lot of ideas off each other, and the young guys got to learn. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, although he may be young, he is elite in all aspects. He's a leader on that team. He's a leader for the wide receiver room. He does things the right way. You saw he had Jameson Williams on the jug machine last training camp when he first got back off the suspension. I mean, when he was in training camp and then also when he got back off the suspension. He's a leader. Like, they may only have one guy, but he's the right guy. Like, and I look at that. You get DPJ is another guy. And I know he's creeping up there. DPJ
25.
He's 25. And you got I like Amon-Ra St. Brown in this situation. I think he's enough of
He's like a 40-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Because even when I met him, like, obviously he talks shit, but when I met him,
and I mean that
I felt old energy.
The great, all due respect.
Hey, KJ Osborne, to me, was a guy I would have loved to have seen come here.
Minnesota?
He went 1 year to New England, signed a 1 year, $4 million contract. 1 year, $4 million. That's what he went to New England for.
I like KJ Osborne.
I really liked him. I really thought last year was a coming out party for him.
Well, then he'll go be the number one receiver in New England. That's what he's betting on himself.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's why he does something like that.
But I think that's a guy that kind of slipped by. A lot of teams slip by.
You know the Lions, man. Lions like their type of guys. So if they heard anything about KJ Osborne, that's why he didn't make it there. But to your
they probably
point,
didn't like that T-shirt he was wearing or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's too busy.
Yeah.
It's too much. But
just other Lions news, they restructured the contract of Carlton Davis, comes over, and that frees up about $4.5 million worth of cap space. This is great, too. And
without playing it down.
And I think it's a really good sign of who Carlton Davis is, willing to come over and do something like this because, it's not incumbent upon you to restructure a contract, especially for people that you don't know. He just got traded here. He comes here, and he's willing to do this. So good for Carlton Davis. Shows you who he is. He's a team guy, and maybe that the Lions can use some cap space to sign other players. They had a number of deals as well today, just contractually that they got through. So just some money.
Pete, can you put that up?
Yeah,
there they are.
Some money aspects.
Jared Goff made a couple bucks.
Yeah, $5 million roster bonus. Taylor Decker, $500,000 bonus.
Man,
David Montgomery's salary is guaranteed. Cam Sutton's salary is guaranteed just by staying on through this period in the calendar.
So Goff quietly got a raise.
$5 million.
I didn't get a raise. He's got part of the money already on him, though.
Right.
So, hey,
that's a nice little check to have.
I missed those bonuses.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking at that. I said, I remember seeing those
What's
bonuses,
the biggest
man.
check you ever got? One check.
3.6.
What do you do with that money?
Put it in the bank.
Yeah, but you don't put it all in the bank.
No, you don't put it all in the bank. You have some fun with it.
Give me $300,000 out of that cash.
You got moms like, get that from you before you do something stupid. No, it's funny. I had a funny playoff story. Is one of my one of my bonuses that my agent Lamont Smith put in my contract when I played for the Browns was if we make it to the AFC Championship, then I think I had a $500,000 bonus in my contract. Well, I was playing for the Browns, never thought about the playoffs, so forgot all about this contractual language. Well, the Jets picked up. I got traded, so the Jets essentially had the same contract. So when we made the AFC Championship, my first year with the Jets in 2010. My agent told me this after we'd already made it to the AFC Championship. He was like, he sent me a screenshot. He was like, I just want to show you something. And I read it. I'm like, I just got $500,000 for making the AFC Championship? You talking about not knowing? Because I was in Cleveland. We never made it.
It's like winning the lottery.
Wow.
It was. It was. I know what I did with that.
Did you take half of that for pocket change?
No. I took that whole check to Vegas. We turned up. We turned up.
That's classic,
oh my gosh, man. I feel like you're a completely different person from that guy.
That's hilarious.
You know what I mean? It's like you're responsible and all that stuff.
100%.
Now it's like
I just love.
I'm a different person than I was 15, 20 years ago as well. You know what I mean?
Well, he was flushed with $300,000 in his pocket.
Sheesh.
Me flushed. I hit a trifecta at the Meadowlands. I might have had $280 in my pocket. That was a lot for me. Wow, I got $280. I'm flushed, man.
Money is money, baby.
More Lions news. Just getting a look at their new defensive line as well. Really something to see when you see that big man in the middle. DJ Reader right there. Lee McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, if healthy. James Houston, if healthy. We believe Houston will be. Not sure about Davenport, but we'll see. But what a completely different group of players this looks to be.
Looks good.
And now a strength on the team.
It looks real good. I mean, you're talking about going from a weakness, man. That D-line was a weakness. There was games where no one's getting to the quarterback. There's no pressures. There's no sacks. Quarterbacks are just allowed to sit back there and take their sweet time, pat the ball, and find guys open. Now you add DJ Reader, you put him right in the middle. He's a run stopper, but also he can rush the passer. You know what Davenport can do when he's healthy. And then James Houston, we hope he can get back to the form. In 9 games, he had 8.5 sacks. It was amazing to see him and Aiden Hutchinson opposite each other. And then Lee McNeil. Lee McNeil lost weight last year. He had, one of his better years. He finally showed that promise. When I think
Stay healthy.
ESPN did the piece they put up 2 years ago, say he's one of the biggest freaks in the NFL. Like, now you're starting to see that ability. So I like what they're doing, man. It's going to help the linebacker core out because that's another area the Lions are weak in. A good D-line helps helps every level.
I did want to get to this because I'm sure you saw this. It's making the rounds. Last Friday on ESPN, on ESPN Radio, it was actually Mike Greenberg said that the Lions, their window is closed.
I think they missed their window. I think their shot to win the championship was last year.
Explain yourself.
I think they're getting surpassed in their own division. I think Green Bay is now better than them. I think Green Bay was a coming, and I think Detroit had it. Like look at all throughout history. Look how many teams lose games in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, that we think, oh, man, well, that was just the beginning. You know they'll be back. How many times is that team not back? The Lions had the 49ers dead to rights in their own building in the NFC Championship game. How about when Buffalo lost that game 13 seconds against Kansas City? Well, that was a heartbreaking loss, but you know they'll be back. They'll clearly take that one more step. How's that worked out? Cincinnati in that Super Bowl against the Rams. Oh, look how close they've come. Look how good and young their quarterback is. Oh, they'll certainly be back. How's that worked out? I'm old enough to remember Dan Marino getting to the Super Bowl against Joe Montana, his second year in the NFL, set the world on fire. Oh, Marino, the first of what will unquestionably be 5 Super Bowl appearances. Never got back. You missed that chance. You missed that chance. Green Bay is going to be better than Detroit next year.
It's an interesting point. I hadn't really thought about it this.
So a couple of things about this. I do not believe that the Lions window is closed. But I also don't believe it's automatic where they get back to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. And both things can be true. Yeah. I would take this Lions roster, if healthy, and I would put it up against any roster in the NFC. That doesn't mean that they're going to just cakewalk through the NFC North division, get a couple of home playoff games, back to the NFC Championship game, win it, and go to the Super Bowl. That's not how this works. Now, I understand Greeny's point. I disagree with it with a caveat. Green Bay is really good. Why do you think Green Bay is just automatically now going to surpass Detroit? What did you see out of Green Bay?
They didn't win a playoff game.
They did win They did win a playoff game. They beat Dallas, and then they should have beat San Francisco.
Right.
But the same argument you made for Detroit, they had San Francisco dead to rights in their own building. Yeah. You know who else had San Francisco dead to rights in their own building? Green Bay. So why is one thing true about Detroit, but the other is not true for Green Bay? So I think we make these arguments to kind of support how we think about it. I think the Lions roster is better than Green Bay. I do think this is going to be one heck of a dogfight for a division. What did I say at the end of last year, Bray? I said the Lions could win 12 games next year and not have a home playoff game, because Green Bay could win 12 games as well, and they could win a tiebreaker over Detroit, and they could win the NFC North. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want anybody to take last year's not 1, but 2 home games for granted, because you never know when you're going to get to play at home again. And that even if the Lions don't play a home game this year, it doesn't mean the window is closed at all. But each year is so unique to that particular year. By the way, I don't think Greeny said anything that Dan Campbell didn't say at the end of the game afterwards either. Dan Campbell said, I don't know if we'll ever get back here. This is really hard. I mean, he said those words. So I know Greeny's getting beat up and all this stuff. I like Greeny. I disagree with him on the window is closed part. I agree with him on everything else he said. It's really hard to get back, as evidenced by so many of the teams that he mentioned.
The Bills.
Look, it's tough to get back. You know, you hit the nail on the head talking about Josh Allen. You talk about gets to the AFC Championship. They play against the game before the Patriots. They got to the AFC Championship. The next year they lose to the Chiefs in triple overtime. In overtime. In overtime. And you're thinking it's going to happen again. You're thinking he's going to take these steps, and it hasn't happened. And each year, they're seeming to be losing a little earlier, second round. Now it's the first round. It's tough to get back. It definitely is. But part of what he said, Green Bay Packers team is really good. Came on strong at the end of the season. I think they won 8 of the last 9. Oh, by the way, one of those wins, they beat the Lions. Beat the Lions here on Thanksgiving. So they're a darn good team. And, oh, by the way, this is something people aren't talking about. They got 11 draft picks. They have 11 draft picks this year. You're talking about a team that was really good. Like you said, they had 49ers dead to right as well. They're going to get better. They don't have to spend money. Just like the Lions aren't spending money, they're not spending money either. And you ask why are they a better or why about Green Bay? What is it about Green Bay? They also got a quarterback now. They got a quarterback and a head coach that seem to be in sync.
And Josh Jacobs.
100%. You bring a running back that led the league in rushing 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago, 1,684 yards. So I'm not saying the window is closed at all. Not at all. But this will be a definitely different season than last year's for Detroit. Detroit's going to get everybody's best. Detroit is going to play a harder schedule. They're playing a first-place schedule. So it's going to be a lot tougher. And, oh, by the way, their division just got that much harder as well, with the Bears picking up some players here and there, and then Green Bay as well.
Keenan Allen.
Minnesota won't know what they're going to do. So it's going to be a journey, Ryan and mine. We're going to see how good. We give Dan Campbell a lot of credit. We're going to see how good Dan Campbell evolves as a coach this season.
Peter Van Larhoven in the chat says, explain how San Francisco and Kansas City get back each year. Well, the Kansas City one is self-explanatory, right?
Patrick Mahomes.
We've never seen a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes ever in NFL history, the way that guy plays. So that's one. And by the way, they have an all-time great coach, an all-time great quarterback, and an all-time great at tight end.
And I can help you. And I can help you on the defensive side. One, they have the best offensive mind in the game right now. Kyle Shanahan, what he was doing offensively was light years ahead of the other team. They stayed effective that way, and they stayed ahead. Oh, by the way, they're smart. They had the two best linebackers in the game playing side by side, and they kept adding the defensive line. You got a great defensive line. You have great defense with the linebackers, and you got the best offensive mind in football. That's how they kept getting back.
And you popped with a rookie quarterback. You know, you pay a quarterback $895,000 and see how many teams.
Jimmy Garoppolo had them in the NFC Championship.
Right, could kind of get back to where they've been. And oh, by the way, they've been to the NFC Championship game 5 times in the past.
It's been 30 years since they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, San Francisco has not won a Super Bowl since 1995.
Right.
So I mean,
my favorite team.
Hey, side note on that.
Just saying,
Jimmy G. How about that on the Dynasty?
Oh yeah.
We're talking about Dynasty with the Patriots.
Brady said he wanted
oh, my God. Bill Belichick looks like he lost his best friend when they traded Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
That was something.
Is Jimmy Garoppolo signed?
He signed with the Rams.
He's with the Rams.
Huh?
Yep.
This is a hell of a move.
He's with the Rams.
It's a really good move.
That's a great move for both parties involved. Jimmy Garoppolo makes a great decision. He goes to a team that was in the playoffs last year, Super Bowl winners 3 years ago. And also, Matt Stafford, you never know if he's going to make it through a whole season. We got a phone call that says you never know if he's going to make it through a whole season. And Jimmy G is a guy, all he does is what, man? Wins.
He wins.
So
this will be the fourth Jimmy Garoppolo jersey I'm going to have to buy for my wife. The fourth.
Oh, God.
All right?
Right.
So I'm going broke on Jimmy G game, where he's going, the teams that he goes to.
Braylon's saying we got a phone call. Is there a phone call?
Sure, let's take a phone call.
Sure, take one. I don't have a screen up, so I don't know who it is.
Okay, well, we'll play high school phone call.
Sure. Mike,
phone
what
caller?
do we got? Who's on the phone?
Hey.
Who's on the phone?
It's Ken. Ken from Florida.
Hey,
We were
Ken
talking
from
about
Florida.
the Tigers last week.
Hey, Ken from
Tigers
Florida.
last week, Lions this week. I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
All right. Do you think the chances of the Lions getting a caliber football player kicker on the level of an Eddie Murray or an Akers is possible this year?
Ken, thanks for the call and thanks for the question. I'll let Maz tackle that answer because Maz
He's asking about the kicker.
Maz is the kicker guy.
I'm
he
the kicking
wants to know if
expert.
We're gonna have a kicker.
Yeah, we're gonna draft a kicker. There's no question about it, Kenny. I don't know who it's gonna be. I don't know what round it's gonna be, but they're gonna draft their next Jason Hanson, God willing. Eddie Murray was awesome. Then we had Jason Hanson go on from there, and now they will draft a kicker. I know Michael Badgley got a 1-year deal. It's really meaningless. He's going to be battling in we'll see who he battles in training camp, but they're going to draft a kicker. If they don't, then I just have no idea. If they just take foot out of the word football, then I have no idea. They'll never try to kick a field goal again, I guess.
Maybe one of these UFL guys will pop.
They tried last year, that Romo, that Parker Romo.
Yeah.
And he didn't make the team. So
hey,
maybe there'll be a
welcome,
UFL.
Ken. Thanks,
Ken.
it.
I hope. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Appreciate it, Ken.
All right, guys, I got to get a break in, so we'll take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll go around the NFL. But first, a message from Pete Spivak.
No,
Actually, it's the
Edwards.
50K
Sorry.
challenge. Brought to you by Soroki's and Glorious. It's the Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. It's the tournament. It's tournament time. Get your bracket filled out. You should have one filled out anyway. But this one will allow you the chance to win $50,000. $50,000. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of whatever you want it to be. $50,000 K-Challenge at Woodward Sports.
That sounds like good news, Braylon. I have more good news, but I also have some bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan. The good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss will make sure your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party, it's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Big Boy Seafood Fest is sailing in with a fresh catch of favorites. Dive into fish and chips, our new palm-crusted cod, perfectly fried clam shrimp platter, or a delicious fish sandwich. Try our new mango iced tea, the ultimate complement to our popcorn shrimp, our all-new fried pickles, shrimp alfredo, or shrimp stir-fry. Experience all the sea has to offer every Friday night with our all-you-can-eat seafood buffet. Every day is a fish fry, only at Big Boy.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
About Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Les Stanford now has 4 dealerships for you to choose from. All GM brands under one umbrella: Chevy, Cadillac, Buick, and GMC. After adding the Buick GMC brand, the Buick GMC store located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue just south of 9 Mile. If you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. And when you pick up, together, let's drive. Also, now when you pick up your Les Stanford Chevrolet Buick, Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC, you can drive over to Shake Shack, okay? Here's the deal when it comes to chicken sandwiches. Got a sleeper for you. It's Shake Shack Chicken Shack Sandwich.
Fire.
Delicious.
Fire.
Try the Chicken Shack Sandwich for free. A free Chicken Shack Sandwich with a $10 purchase. Grab a shake and a crispy crinkle fry. Add your chicken and your Chicken Shack will be free. Just use the code Woodward. So you make a purchase for $10, you get a free Chicken Shack.
It's not a bad deal.
Sandwich.
You guys ate it on Friday.
It was fire.
That's right. Use the code Woodward in person, online, or download that Shake Shack app today.
That's a mouthful.
Got something for you guys. This could be quick fun. Just CBS Sports. They put out their top 25 NCAA football teams going into spring ball. Where would you guess, Ryan and Ermanni, right now, new coach Sharon Moore and his squad are ranked?
12.
You're damn good. It's 11.
Really?
You're 11. They got Georgia 1, rightfully so. How does Ohio State keep getting number 2?
They spent $13 million in the offseason.
Say less. Texas 3. I think that's going to be your national champ. Texas. Oregon's 4. Alabama, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Mizzou, Penn State, LSU, and Michigan. Michigan plays in that top 10, although this is spring ball.
Texas.
They play Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State.
Wow. Woo.
Woo!
What a way to break in.
Sharon Moore picked a hell of a year to start.
Who's going to be the quarterback? Orgy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be Orgy.
Absolutely.
Check in with intern Alex in a little bit.
Yeah.
I've seen him do anything but run. I haven't seen him throw no passes.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I got you.
Jaden Davis.
Jaden Davis.
Hey, while we're on the Michigan thing, I got to mention it. It's a story. New Michigan defensive line coach Greg Scruggs was arrested this weekend on operating while intoxicated charges. So what they're going to do with Coach Scruggs.
He was suspended indefinitely from the program. That's from Sharon Moore and the athletic department. And, you know, look.
Here's what it is.
They never judge a man by his worst moment. I'm not going to start now. I hope if he needs help, I hope he gets the help he needs. I've got nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
try not to comment on people's personal matters.
I got 2 DUIs myself. Last one was 2015. So, like, I got nothing to say on the matter. Like I said, I hope he gets the credit. I mean, I hope he gets the help that he needs. The one thing I will say, though, is it's U of M. Like, this is U of M. Like, you can't get a second. Jim Harbaugh had one. He didn't get a second one, though. But you can't get your second DUI after you just get the job up in Ann Arbor. They don't play that. So, I wish him well in this situation. I hope he, like you said, I hope he gets that. But I don't see it going well for him.
Yeah, again, I just I try not to comment on people's personal situations. I got no business comment. If he's a good coach or bad coach, I could judge on that. I don't know. You obviously don't drink and drive. It's not good. It just as a general rule.
Yeah.
But in this case, I got nothing for you.
It's crazy how much people forget that.
It's just a rule of life for me. I don't judge other people.
There's an app called.
I just don't.
I was just about
there's
to
an
say,
Uber. There's a Lyft.
There's a Lyft.
It's really simple.
Call one of your fellow
Push the
coaches.
button.
Call one of your fellow coaches.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up? I'm at
push the button.
Insert spot here. Had a couple like, hey, yo, pick me up. I come get
He
my
probably
car
thought he
tomorrow.
was okay. That's the thing.
He probably was.
You can't.
to be honest.
Yeah, he probably was, but you can't do that.
That's one thing, and this is what I tell people, and this is no longer talking about that, but just talking about like the love, Ryan, and Ann Arbor. Everybody assumed, like when they talked to me when I was in the league, even post, man, what's it like in Ann Arbor, man? You guys were probably gods up there. You can do whatever the hell you want to. Remember I always tell you that Troy Smith story. It's not like that in Ann Arbor. Like Ann Arbor doesn't care that you played football or that you were national champ or that, especially basketball. You better not get pulled over and be a basketball player right now. Ann Arbor cops don't care because all the cops come from like East Lansing because that's where the school is, the cop school or whatever. It's like East Lansing. They do not care who you are in Ann Arbor. You will get ticketed. You will go to jail. Football, basketball, head coach, doesn't matter.
Tom Mazway, what else you got? Let's go around the NFL.
Let's do it. I'm going to start with, I had a story here, but for about a week, Pro Football Focus put out their top 101 players from last year. The 2023 top 101 players. The Lions have 8 players on this list.
Just goes to show you how much the roster has improved. I mean, we used to fight for having anybody on this list that might be like number 87 on the list, and it was nice to see a Lions player. But my goodness, to have 8 guys in the top 100 makes you feel really good about the
where they're going,
whole talent as a whole on the roster.
It's simple put. Got to the NFC Championship. You're going to have 8 guys on here. When you have guys on this list, you're allowed to pay at the best level. How many guys San Fran have on that list? That's who the Lions play. How many guys did Kansas City have on that list? How many guys did the Ravens have? The more guys you have on that list, the further you're going in the playoffs, and you're probably going to the Super Bowl. Simple as that.
Here's something for you guys. Last week I talked about Kirk Cousins going to the Falcons, and the NFL thinking that
Hold on. Can I say
Yeah, please.
Please. Let me say this. Because Lou Sasshole
Lou's after us.
Lou Sasshole in the chat So Ryan doesn't judge other people unless they wear a dress. Got it. Well, let me tell you something, Sasshole. I am not judging Caleb Williams at all. You clearly did not hear what I said about Caleb Williams.
You didn't listen.
I don't care what Caleb Williams does. What I'm saying is, as it relates to an NFL locker room, how will that play in the room? It has nothing to do about judging Caleb Williams personally or anything like that. How will that correlate to what happens in a locker room, in an NFL locker room? That's what I'm judging. Not what Caleb Williams does. I don't care if he wears his dress, paints his fingernails. That makes no difference to me. But when you're talking about a football team and how that quarterback will lead a room, lead a locker room, lead a team, yeah, I got comments on that. I got thoughts on that. So just there you go, loose asshole.
Hey, here's something for you too, by the way. Like, look, we're not judging this guy at all. We're basically just talking about what's going to happen in the locker room or what could potentially happen in the locker room. But Ryan, I'll give you a better example. What happened with John Gruden and his emails that got linked? This is a whole, excuse me, this is an NFL head coach that is legitimately talking about gay players and how he doesn't like this and this is BS. This was a coach that's sharing these emails.
Who said that?
Remember John Gruden? Like one of the emails with the Michael Sam situation, the defensive tackle for the Rams. That was a head coach talking about he didn't like that and this is BS and Roger Goodell shouldn't be doing these moves and Jeff Fisher. That's a coach. What do you think the players are talking about? So, which is true speculation on what the situation is. It's going to be interesting is all we're saying.
Absolutely. Well said, though, both guys. Both guys.
Thank you. Sorry, Tom Mass.
No, don't be sorry. Hey, take it back to Kirk Cousins. He goes to Atlanta, signs a big deal. The word on the street is Atlanta and Kirk Cousins might have spoken in that dead period where you're not allowed to chat.
They're all talking to everybody, aren't they?
I get it. But supposedly, Atlanta's training team got with him. I guess asked him, how far away are you? Maybe they even checked him. If so, that's breaking the rules, and it could cost them a number one pick that would go to the Minnesota Vikings.
That's incredible.
Like, what?
Yes. If he talked to the training staff and they prove it and he's okay, that's why they gave him $100 and something million, they're going to lose their number one pick.
See, this is one of those deals where it's like, are you a team, are you an owner that the NFL likes? I guarantee you if this would have been a team that maybe is liked by Roger Goodell or the NFL, a big team, they wouldn't have done this. But Atlanta, they like, we don't like you guys. We'll take you. If they take their pick, that's bogus. And
That
give
would
it to the
be-
Vikings. That hurts the Lions and the
Then
Packers.
you got 2 top 10 picks.
Isn't that something?
You know, 2 top 10.
That directly affects
How quickly
this
will they
division.
move up?
What?
And they actually
They
did.
made some good moves already.
Yeah.
Didn't they add a second pick already? So
Yeah.
they have 3
They have
first-round
they
picks?
have 11, 23, and they would get Atlanta's pick.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's probably
Which is
picking-
8, I think, right?
Holy crow.
My
yeah.
God. So now they have
Atlanta's
more.
picking at 8.
They got better draft capital than the Bears.
They might not have to trade to get a quarterback.
Right.
Anyway, we'll see. Stay tuned on that. I told you guys about Jimmy G to the Rams, KJ Osborne to the Patriots, Mike Williams visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know he hasn't played a lot of games,
He still can play.
but he's a player.
Mike Williams is
We
20.
don't know.
He's a 20. No, we do know that he can play. We just know that he's never healthy.
Right.
Same thing with Keenan Allen. He's a
Best ability is availability.
$20 million receiver. I mean, when he's out there, you saw what he did last year, man. As I had him in fantasy a little bit. Like, when he's available, the guy can play. But you see what they're trying to do? They're trying to get a guy in there that, he's good reputation. That's what they need in Pittsburgh. They need some good guys.
Hell yeah.
That identity, man, and that culture right now in Pittsburgh, it is not the same it was 10 years ago. It was not the same it was 7 years ago.
I'll continue on.
Just the last one, Maz. One more and then
One more? Okay. The Cowboys released Michael Gallup and Leighton Vander Esch. Now, Leighton Vander Esch, if you remember, I forgot who it was, but remember he was engaged on a block. Someone came from the back and hit him on the knee. Today he retired from football because of that.
It's tough. It's tough sledding. You get a lot of defensive guys that complain about those type of blocks, man. If you've been late in your career 9 years, you're like, I can't let this thing happen again because it's serious things. There are serious injuries that can happen in the game of football. I mean, look at Alex Smith. You know, he almost had his leg amputated, if you will. So
dang,
yeah, tough stuff.
One of the great comebacks in NFL history. Guys, break time. One more break. We'll come back, close it out next. Wings, Pistons, and everything else. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
That's right. What happens? What does it tell the bad guys when you see this black and yellow sign out in front of the house? It tells the bad guys. That's right, and same for Maz. Stay out. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and by people who are proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call today and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party, it's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Winning is a habit. So is listening daily to Woodward Sports. We're glad you're a winner, and thanks for listening.
Hey guys, seafood is back. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Start off diving into those fish and chips, their new Parmesan crusted cod, the perfectly fried clam strip platter, and more. And a Big Boy must try. It's the new mango iced tea. The perfect complement with the popcorn shrimp and the shrimp Alfredo. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy, especially, don't forget, Friday nights. It's the all-you-can-eat seafood buffet.
Jack Labrador, Tom.
You got it. You can bring Jack Labrador with you guys. Check it out. Hit that QR code, jacklabrador.gg. It'll tell you how to play this game, how to add it to that old game, the rock, paper, scissors game. This is the new way to play it. 2 new symbols and a franchise-changing 3-point play. It's the Champions Deck, $20 at your local Jack Labrador, online at jacklabrador.gg.
Just during the break, I just messing around looking at Twitter, X as they call it, as we try to be appropriate, call things what they are.
It's true. Stupid.
Right.
That's Twitter.
But Joe Torre was dressed in a Yankees uniform today and came out and made a pitching change against the Phillies today. And it was just so great watching Joe Torre.
I love him.
Just the way he walks out with the arms back there like this and then motions to the bullpen.
I love it.
To make the pitching change.
I wish Andy Pettit was coming out, though. That was great.
Wish Mariano Rivera.
I wish Rivera, Pettit, Jeter, I wish they were all there.
Right.
Because this Yankee team, I don't even know, man. I just don't know.
Basically, like spring training, they always do some cool stuff. I remember a couple years back when Will Ferrell went out there, and I think he actually batted for the Cubs, and I think he played first base for an
That is good.
Like it's just fun. It's fun in spring training.
I got the video.
Oh, you got the video?
What do you got the video on?
There you go. Look at this.
I'm on
Joe
it.
I'm on Torre.
Look at
Is
Yogi.
that great?
Look at him.
How great is that?
That's awesome.
Like
You know?
Yogi Berra's son.
There's a couple of kind words for the picture there.
This is a really special spring training
it's
scene.
so great. There's nothing more romantic than baseball.
That picture never forget.
So good, man.
You know?
That
So
picture never
sweet.
forget.
I've been watching a lot of spring training games at night on MLB Network.
Yeah.
Catching up. I had my fantasy draft on Saturday. With my guys, the league I've been playing on in a long time. Well, it's fun, man. I just love the game. I hope the Tigers could compete. Tigers had the day off today. They're having good spring so far. They are 15-8. 15-8. They host the Phils tomorrow. Opening day is less than 2 weeks away. For real.
And aren't
the
they
28th.
aren't they playing some games in Korea or in Japan pretty
Well,
soon?
yeah, the
here?
Seoul series is about to begin. The
That's
Dodgers and the
regular
Padres.
season.
Yeah, it's going to be coming on soon. The Padres played already in Korea.
What are my White Sox doing this year?
The Chi Sox? They're
Yeah.
going to be middle of the pack in the AL Central.
You know, I like
Not
the
too
White
good.
Oh, the White Sox. They're not good in the Cactus League.
No, not too good. But, we'll see how it goes.
My buddy's the general
Chris
manager
Getz,
of the
right?
team, yeah.
Chris Getz.
Oh, God.
Whatever Chris wants,
I'll
he gets.
be rooting for the White Sox this year, too. I want everybody to know that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I got my White Sox pull over. You can borrow if
That's
you'd like.
right. I'll be rooting for
Penguins
the
beat
White
the
Sox.
Wings last night. Detroit's lost 7 of their last 8. They're hanging on to a playoff spot between them and the Islanders right now for that wild card spot. The Blue Jackets are here tomorrow night.
They lost 7 of 8, you said?
Yeah.
They beat Buffalo. I mean,
Yeah.
they beat the Sabres
Saturday,
and then they turned around and lost.
and they lost.
Yeah.
Penguins. They were doing Jaromir Jagr night, so they weren't going to lose on Jaromir Jagr night.
Sidney Crosby still getting it done, too.
He does.
33
Still gets
goals.
it done.
Kid.
My goodness.
And did you guys get a chance to watch the Pistons yesterday with the celebration of the 2014?
I didn't see a lot of celebration. I was disappointed that Rasheed wasn't there and Larry Brown wasn't there, but it was great to see the other guys that were there. I didn't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Zero promotion for this.
Well, there was like a couple of weeks ago. Then it kind of died on the vine.
Zero promotion
Yeah.
for this. So I had no idea that the guy. Actually, it was the Woodward Sports X page.
Yes.
That alerted me.
Brandon Dent and the boys,
To-
Matt Broder, Kenny G, they all went.
So it was, our Woodward Sports page that let me know about this. So I had no idea about this. Kudos. Sorry, so loud. Kudos to Darvin Ham, who's the head coach of the Lakers.
Yep.
Who must have taken a red eye in because
cool.
they played Saturday night in that wild game against the Warriors. And he flew in for a 3:00 game yesterday.
Lindsey was there.
Kudos to Chauncey
guy.
Billups as well, who's
Also
the
coaching.
head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. So those two guys made it. Absolutely. Rich Baldwin says, Ryan, why are you rooting for the Chi Sox? My buddy's the general manager of the team. Grosse Pointe South Zone, Chris Getz.
Hey, the Celtics play
first year's
tonight
general
at home,
manager.
of course, against the Pistons. So
Yep.
that's going to be a hard one for them. I think they're getting like 18.
It's 15 and a half.
15
I just
and a
saw
half.
it as I looked to see what the Pistons, what time the game was tonight. Can I just say yesterday's loss was inexcusable. And that is on coaching.
They
And
got
that is
swept
on-
by the Heat.
And that is on Cade Cunningham. So when you're as bad as the Pistons are, you want to see something that you can hold on to and say, okay, these guys are getting better. What happened yesterday should have never happened. The game is tied. The shot clock is off. The Pistons have the ball. There is no way in Hades that you allow the the Miami Heat to have another shot at it. You either win the game or you go to overtime. There is no option C. You take the last shot, you win the game, or you go to overtime. Cade Cunningham inexplicably goes early, misses the shot. Miami comes down with the rebound, gets a clean look for a three, and wins the game at the buzzer. Inexcusable.
Yeah.
Inexcusable. That's poor coaching and poor leadership from Cade Cunningham. Those two things you never want to hear if you're a Pistons fans in the midst of just an all-time bad season.
Yeah.
Pistons, 12-55 now. 12-55.
Ouch. Cade Cunningham, number 1 overall pick. Wasn't satisfied when it happened, but it was nobody else in the draft unless you want to get Jalen Green. Houston Rockets picked up him. You see flashes.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Often and few.
So, yeah, that's what we got. There you go.
Dang.
Bray, get us out of here, bud.
Sheesh. At least somebody's winning. Shout out to the Tigers for providing a little bit of joy. Good show by you guys today. A lot of fun, a lot of stuff. Got Lions things in there. Getting closer. 40 days away, man.
Hey, by the way, go to woodwardsports.com and fill out that bracket, too, by the way.
50,000 online.
We want to see you in the bracket. I filled out my bracket today. I am EEM Ryan, so when you see number 1 on the list and it says EEM Ryan, feel free to
I'm Tommy Maz.
I'm Tommy Maz. And if you've got a phone up, QR code that right there. There you go.
Let me try that from back here.
All right, try it, Maz. Let's see if it works.
All right.
It definitely will work. Watch that. Look how easy it is.
Take a look. Does it work, Maz? QR code from back there?
No, because the desk is blocking.
Oh, the desk is blocking.
The desk is blocking.
There you go. Well, hopefully it works.
Get the one on the screen.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Oh, look at you, Maz.
Bam.
Good job, Maz.
And just like that, he is now ready.
There it is.
Oh my God! By the way, did you see before we go? Did you see the one player that fouled?
Oh my! That was Kent State.
Kent State. I did see that.
Kent State, Akron.
I saw that.
Kent State is up by 1, and the guy intentionally fouls a player. 2 free throws. Akron wins the MAC championship, and I tweeted this out. I probably shouldn't have. I wish I didn't, but I didn't delete it.
I saw it.
Uh-oh.
It's hard not to think there.
Yeah.
Like just in today's landscape of sports betting, when you watch that all-time horrible mental mistake or whatever it is, it's hard to not have it creep in your mind that somebody's on the take.
Yeah.
It's just,
The coaches went crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
You said inexcusable.
Yeah.
That's another inexcusable offense.
Right.
Yikes.
You could be right, man. I mean, you're right. It creeps in your head. It's gambling.
And wasn't there just a story like recently? Oh, yeah, here it is from March 9th, 2024. Former SEC quarterback claims that Mob offered him $300,000 to fix a game.
We played that the other day.
Monday,
yep. That was the Vanderbilt. I think he played for Vanderbilt.
I looked up that guy's stats. Like he had
5 passes.
He had like 7 passes career.
Yeah.
So
but regardless,
no,
when you see a story like that, and then you see a play like that in the same month, it's hard not to think. But what do we
Everybody's on the tape.
Bray, get us out of here.
Yep, we're out of here. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate
See you tomorrow.
for tuning in. Mike, peace, back, doing your job as always. Tom Maz away. My brother from another mother, Ryan Ermanni. We'll see you tomorrow.
You know what time it is.
Ermanni, Edwards, and Maz.
Booyah.
All right.
Good job, guys.